How's everybody doing? All right. Basically, I want to talk about one of my passions. I work for a software company called OpenText. We're Canada's largest software company. But I also have this passion of Exotica music. And I've been collecting this kind of music for about 30 years now, and have accumulated a lot of vinyl records. I mean, a lot, okay? So basically, what is Exotica? I mean, Exotica, if you were to walk into a record store back in the 50s, they had a section called Easy Listening. And one of the variations of easy listening was Exotica music. Back in 1959, Hawaii became one of the United States. And so there's this huge, giant thing with Hawaii. And everybody wanted to go to Hawaii. Everybody wanted to escape after a hard day's work. So they would put on something like, African Sounds, which had this big band orchestra with real live animal sounds in the background. So it was music to escape by. This was the first album by Martin Denny, and it's the actual album that titled the entire genre. It's called Exotica. And Les Baxter, he's the godfather of Exotica. He had two albums called Ritual the Savage, which used to scare the hell out of me, that cover, and then Tamboo. Both very good albums that were easy listening, but it was kind of tribal. It really was. The cover itself was basically another reason to escape as well. When you look at these album covers, the artwork alone is incredible, and it was there to create that illusion. All of this painted a picture of escapism, and that's what this music portrays. Martin Denny took Les Baxter's music, who was a composer with a huge orchestra, but he broke it down into a combo. He had only 4 guys. And he would take all these arrangements that were made for 30 musicians and break them down to 4 or 5 people. And he actually made it popular. He had a huge hit in 1959 called Quiet Village. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but he did. Quiet Village was the big hit. That girl there by the tiki bar is Sandy Warner. She actually appeared on 16 of Martin Denny's album covers. So she was known as the Exotica Girl. But anyways, another member that's what I call the 3 big kahunas, you had Les Baxter, Martin Denny, was Arthur Lyman. Arthur Lyman was a real Hawaiian. The other 2 guys were not. But he was one of the guys that would make this music with sound effects. He would have actual, lava sounds. He would have bird calls. He would have just all these extraneous sounds mixed into his music. And it just created a different environment. Robert Drasman's another really big composer. Pretty good friend of mine, and he still lives in California. He had one big album called Voodoo. And this album was really popular. It was recorded toward the end of '59 and came out in '60 on the Tops record label, which is a very low-budget record label. But they said, hey, Bob, we need you to put out an album. We need you to put it out cheap, and because this music popular, So we did, and it was a pretty big hit. The Kahiki Restaurant. Anybody remember this place? All right, well, the Kahiki had its own band back in 1961. For 17 years, they had a band called the Beachcomber Trio, headed by Marsh Padilla. I befriended Marsh before he passed away back in 2010, and he gave me the only recordings made at this restaurant. And so I put that album out back in 2010, right before he passed away, and you can actually hear the waterfalls in the background. Don Tiki is a band that's still doing music today. That bongo guy over on the extreme right, that's the son of Augie Colon. And YTE is another band that if you want to listen to what exotic music sounds like today, these guys are still doing really incredible music. In fact, they're going to be doing a gig in October in Hawaii, which is going to be really exciting to go to. I'm going to go there. And if anybody wants to listen to some of this music that I described, there's a link to a SoundCloud account that I have. And you can listen to Yellowbird by the Beachcomber Trio. So hopefully I inspired somebody to listen to some music, because this is really interesting music. So thank you.